Well, thank you again, everyone, for coming and joining me tonight. My name is Sona, and we'll do 1 hour of beginner-friendly vinyasa. And today's practice, I'm thinking, can have a focus on chest openers and back bends from all the sitting down that we're probably doing right now, to help open up our chest and get those shoulders down and back for a little while. So you can go ahead and find a comfortable seated position for yourself. You can close your eyes. You can soften your gaze. You can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. You can breathe in for a count of 3 or 4. And exhale for 3 or 4. You begin to allow yourself to arrive on your mat tonight. So you notice how it feels to be inside of your own body right now. And for the next hour, you have nowhere else to be and nothing else to do except be here now. So you can take one last deep round of breath, and you can open your eyes. On your next inhale, you can reach your arms out and up overhead, reach up tall, and then exhale, release your palms back down at the pace of your exhale. You can take 2 more of these as you inhale your arms up, and exhale, release back down at the pace of your own breath. Nice fluid movements as you inhale up, reach up tall, and exhale, release. I'll take 1 more as you inhale your arms up, reach up tall, and this time you can find a forward fold. So you can walk your hands down in front of you. You can walk your fingertips out. You can tuck your chin. Take a nice round of breath. And then you can release as you walk your hands back up. And from here, you can switch the leg that you have in front. We'll do a few seated cat-cows. So with your hands on your knees, you can inhale, lean forward, and then look up. Exhale, round your spine back, tuck your chin. You can move through a few more of these as you inhale forward. Exhale, round back as you warm up your spine. You can take 1 more of these for good measure. And we'll take a few sacrum circles from here. So as you inhale, rotate your torso around to the front, and then exhale, rotate back until you make a circle. As you inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, rotate back and around. With nice fluid movements, nice and slow. You can go both directions. So you exhale back, then inhale, round forward. So you keep warming up your spine, connect your breath with your movement. Alrighty, then you can return to a neutral seated position. We'll do our chest opener. So as you inhale, reach your arms out and up. And this time, exhale, bring your hands down to your sides behind you as you point your fingertips behind you. You can gently open up your chest, maybe look up, find your breath, Notice your shoulders. See if you can bend your elbows, maybe relax your shoulders down away from your ears. To arch your spine as much as feels good. And then you can release. You can come back forward. And from here, you can find your tabletop, your hands and knees. So your hands will come underneath your wrists, and then your knees underneath your hips. We'll do a few more cat-cows to warm up the spine. So as you inhale, drop your belly, open up your chest and look up. Then exhale, round your spine back and tuck your chin. Inhale, drop your belly and shine your chest forward. Then exhale, cat pose as you arch your spine, tuck your chin. You can move through one more of these for good measure. Then you can return to a neutral tabletop. From here, we'll practice our tiger pose. So you can start by extending your right foot back. So your right foot can come down to the back of your mat. You can keep your toes down, squeeze your leg muscles, or you have the option to let your right foot fly off the mat. You can stay right here, or if you want, you can extend your left arm out long in front, your opposite arm from leg. So you find your balance here. You pull up out of your right shoulder socket, but keep looking down for a neutral neck. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, you can exhale, release back down to tabletop. And we'll switch it up. So this time you can extend your left foot back. So you squeeze your left leg muscles here. You can keep your toes down, or you can lift your foot up to hold your leg here. And then you have the option to extend your right arm in front of you. Thumb up, fingers spread. Find your length as if someone was pulling your arm and leg in opposite directions. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, you can release back down to tabletop. And from here, we'll do our side stretches. So you can take an inhale, then exhale, look over your left shoulder, back at your left hip. You can stay here for a round of breath. And then on your next inhale, you can come back through center. And then you can look over your right shoulder, back at your right hip. You can inhale center, exhale sides a few more times, back and forth, or you can stay on one side a little longer for a few more moments here. Alrighty, and then when you're ready, you can return to a neutral tabletop. You can tuck your toes, and we're gonna find our downward facing dog. So you can plant your hands parallel to each other and then begin to unbend your knees as you push your hips up and back. You can always keep a generous bend in your knees, especially for your first down dog. You can bend one knee and then the other, pedal it out or walk it out. Your head should be hanging down heavy. So you drop your head down through your arms. Look back at your knees. Notice your hands. Make sure your hands are parallel to each other. Your fingertips spread wide. Then you can bend your knees. Look at the space between your hands and make your way to a forward fold. We'll stay here for a few moments for our first fold. You can always bend your knees. You can nod your head, yes and no. You can clasp opposite elbows for a ragdoll pose. You can sway side to side gently, which helps you stretch your mid-spine a little more. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, find your halfway lift. You can bring your hands to your shins. You can squeeze your shoulder blades together, reach out long through the crown of your head. And then exhale, release back down to fold. And now, over the course of a few rounds of breath, you can slowly rise all the way up to standing. You can let your head and chest be the last thing to come up. And then you can spread your feet hip-width distance apart. Lift up all 10 toes, put them back down. Find that even distribution of weight through your feet. So you find a micro bend in your knees. You can engage your core as you lift up through your hips like you're trying to look up at something just over the fence over there. And then tuck your chin. So you relax your shoulders down and find your breath. Mountain pose. From here, we'll go through our flow. So on your next inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. You can find a gentle back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant both of your hands and step both of your feet back to plank pose. So we'll hold our plank for a moment for our first plank. Your hands should come underneath your shoulders, your wrists underneath your shoulders. Your fingertips spread wide. You can always do modified plank and come to your knees if you prefer. And if you do the full version of plank, think about engaging your legs. So kick your heels back over your toes and then shine your chest forward. Find your breath, keep looking down. And on your next exhale, we'll do our chaturanga. So you exhale, lower all the way down through a tricep push-up with your elbows in. And then inhale, chest opener of choice. You can start with a baby cobra. So you lift your head and shoulders. You can always lift your heels or your fingers if you want. And then tuck your toes, plant your hands, downward facing dog. You can always keep a bend in your knees. You can walk it out or bend one knee and bend the other. And then you can bend your knees and look at the space between your hands. And hop or step forward to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to standing. And exhale, release your hands down to your sides. You can step your feet hip width distance apart. From here, we'll do our shoulder rolls. So you can bring your shoulders up, back and down and around. Inhale up, exhale down and around. Up, back and down. Nice scapular rotation. You can go both directions. You come up, forward and down. Up, forward and down and around. Keep breathing. Alrighty, then you can shake out your shoulders, relax your shoulders down. We'll do our neck rolls. So you can make sure you have a nice bend in your knees at all times, and then you can bring your chin down to your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll your head to the side, your ear down toward your shoulder. And then you can inhale back down through center and exhale to the other side. You can take a few more of these. You can do any other stretch that feels good. You have the option to bring your hand to the side of your head to create space between your ear and your shoulder. Keep that tuck in your chin. Keep breathing, keep bending your knees. Alrighty. When you're good, you can come back to neutral. And then you can inhale your arms out and up overhead. We'll do our side stretches as you hold onto your right hand or hold onto your left hand, and then exhale down to the right, or whichever side, doesn't matter. You can look up, keep breathing. Then inhale back up through center, switch your side, switch your grip, then exhale down to the other side. Keep breathing, maybe look up, keep leaning into that right foot, evenly distributed in your both feet, and then you can come back up. From here, we'll do our chest opener. As you exhale, bring your elbows down to the sides as you scrape your elbows against the wall behind you. Open up your chest, look up. Alrighty, good work. You can shake out your shoulders, and we'll go through our flow. You can meet us in down dog if you want to. Inhale your arms out and up. You can find a gentle back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest opener of choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can walk it out or bend one knee and then the other. Alrighty, from here, you can let your right leg fly. So you extend your right leg behind you. See if you can keep your shoulders and your hips squared down toward the mat. Then you can curl your knee to your chest and plant your right foot in between your hands, or make your way to a comfortable lunge position. And then with a strong core, sweep your arms up. Or you can bring your arms to your sides. From here, you can think about lifting up through your hips with a strong core. Sometimes when we're tired, we lean forward and we squish this front hip. Instead, see if you can lift up tall so your shoulders are stacked right over your hips. If you'd like more of a challenge, you can lift your right heel, but only if you want to. So you settle in here for a few more moments. Find your gazing point. Find your breath. From here, you have the option to include a chest opener for the full expression of extended side angle. So from here, you can gently begin to open up your chest up toward the ceiling. You can let your hands come out to the sides. Keep breathing. You shine your chest up. Alrighty, then when you're ready, you can return to your lunge position. One last good moment here on this side. And then you can release your arms to your sides and step your feet together. You can go through your flow. You meet us in down dog. Inhale your arms out and up, back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hand, step it back to plank. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can step your feet in about an inch. You can bend one knee and then the other. If at any point during this practice you need more of a resting pose, you can always drop your knees to the mat and find your child's pose. It is available to you at any time. Alrighty. From your downward dog, we'll do the other side. So you can let your left leg fly this time. Do square your shoulders, square your hips. Keep breathing. And then you can curl your knee to your chest and plant your left foot in between your hands this time. With a strong core, sweep your arms up, or you can bring your arms to your sides. You find your crescent lunge on this side. You settle in for a few rounds of breath here. Stack your shoulders right over your hips with a strong core reaching up tall. You can lift that left heel if you want to. And then from here you have the option to do a chest opener. If you want to open up your arms wide and then gently find a back bend with a nice engaged core. So you look up at the ceiling, keep breathing. Alrighty, then you can return to your warrior or to your crescent lunge for a moment. One last good moment here on this side. And when you're ready, you can release your arms and step your feet together. You can go through your flow. Inhale your arms out and up. Back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hand, step it back to plank. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest opener. Exhale, downward dog. Or child's pose. You can walk it out. You want to bend one knee and then the other. From here, you can let your right leg fly. Then you can curl your right knee to your chest and plant your right foot in between your hands. This time, you can let your left heel back behind you come down to the mat for warrior one. And with a strong core, sweep your arms up for your warrior one. So now your left foot is down against the mat and your toes facing 45-degree angle to the left, or whatever feels good for you. You can bend into that right knee as much as feels good. You can always bring your hands to your sides if you prefer. As you stack your shoulders right over your hips with a nice strong core. And then we'll do our side stretch. So you can slide your left hand down your left leg, reach your right arm up and over. Maybe look up. Keep breathing. You can extend both arms if you want to use more core, or you can do an arm bind. You reach behind you with your left arm. So you find your breath. Keep that bend in that right knee. And then you can come back forward to your warrior one. From here, you can release your arms down to your sides and straighten your right leg in front of you. We'll do pyramid pose. You can inhale, reach your arms up, reach up tall. And exhale, fold over your right leg with control. You can nod your head yes and no to relax your neck. You can always scooch your back foot up closer if you prefer. As you think about squaring your hips, so right hip back, left hip forward. And you can always bend your knees. Alrighty. On your next inhale, we'll release. So you rise back up to your warrior one for a moment. And you can release your arms down to your sides and step your feet together. You can meet us in down dog when you're ready. Inhale your arms out and up, gentle back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest opener. Exhale, downward dog. Or child's pose. Good work. You can step both your feet in about an inch. You can pedal out your heels, bend your knees. And then we'll do that on the other side. So you can let your left leg fly. You can curl your knee into your chest and plant your left foot in between your hands. Let your right heel come down for warrior one. And with a strong core, sweep your arms up or bring your arms to your sides. So you bend into that left knee in front of you. You can always scooch your back foot up closer or widen your front foot out wider. So you find your gazing point. Then we'll do our side stretches. So you can slide your right hand down your right leg and reach your left arm up and overhead. Maybe look up. You can extend both arms. You can do an arm bind. Whatever sounds good to you tonight. Keep breathing. Keep that bend in that left knee. Alrighty, then when you're ready, you can return to your warrior one for a moment. And now we'll do our pyramid pose on this side. So you can release your arms down to your sides, straighten your left leg in front of you, square your hips forward, and then inhale your arms up. And exhale, fold gently over your left leg. You can always bend your knees. You can always scooch that back foot up closer. So you nod your head, yes and no. You find your breath here in this deep fold. You can rise back up. You bend into that left knee for a moment. One last good moment here. And then you can release your arms down to your sides. You can step your feet together. You can come to the top of your mat, and from here we're going to go straight into our wide-legged position. So if you want to go through a flow, a Vinyasa flow, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But if not, you can meet us here in this wide-legged stance. So your feet can be parallel to each other, so your toes are parallel. And then your toes come in and your heels go out just a little bit like you're pigeon-toed. Find a nice micro bend in your knees. You can inhale your arms up, reach up tall. Exhale, fold gently with a nice bend in your knees. You can nod your head, yes and no. You can always keep a bend in your knees. You can bend your knees, place your hands on your hips, and with a straight back, rise up. From here, we'll do a quick Warrior Two sequence. So you can begin by pivoting your right toes out 90 degrees. You bend into your right knee. Then you can extend your arms wide. So you look over your right fingers. So you think about stacking your shoulders right over your hips. As you reach up tall through the crown of your head. From here, you can bend your right elbow and place it on your right thigh. So you reach your left arm up and over for a side stretch. And maybe look up. You can extend both arms out parallel to each other if you want to use more core, or you can do an arm bind with your right arm behind your back. So you find your breath, and then when you're ready, you can return to your Warrior Two for a moment. Now we'll stretch the other side as you slide your left hand down your left leg. Reach that right arm up and over. As you find your breath, maybe look up. Keep that bend in that right knee. And then you can return to your Warrior Two. You can release your arms into center, and then you can pivot your toes so they're parallel. We'll take a fold in between. So you inhale your arms out and up, reach up tall, and exhale, fold gently. You can nod your head, yes and no. You can always bend your knees. Then you can bend your knees. Place your hands on your hips, and with a straight back, rise up. And we'll do that on the other side. So this time you can pivot your left toes out, bend your left knee. So you extend your arms wide and look over your left fingers. You can always flip your palms up for a more shoulder-friendly version as well. So you find your gazing point, settle in here, find your strength, find your breath. And we'll do our side stretches. So you bend your left elbow, place it on your left thigh, reach your right arm up and overhead. Maybe look up. You can do any variation that you like with your arms. Good work. And when you're ready, you can return to your Warrior Two, return to center. And this time you can slide your right hand down your right leg, reach your left arm up and over. Maybe look up. Keep breathing. Keep bending your left knee. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can return to your Warrior Two. One last good moment here. And then you can release your arms. You can pivot your toes back in. You have the option to include a shoulder stretch this time if you want to, by clasping opposite elbows behind your back. Or you can hold your hands together if you want, or you can do normal arms. As you inhale, think about reaching up tall through your spine. And then exhale, fold gently with control. You can always bend your knees. You can nod your head, yes and no. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can gently bring your hands to your low back and rise back up with control. From here, you can step your feet together and come to the top of your mat. For our standing balancing pose tonight, I thought we could try eagle, which is like the getting all twisted up in a pretzel pose. And you can do the leg portion of it by starting out by bringing your weight and your grounding into your left leg as you bend your left knee. And then from here, you can begin to cross your right leg over your left. Maybe bring your right foot to your calf, to your left calf. Or you can keep your foot held out to the side, if that's okay. You can bend that left knee, find your gazing point. Think about lifting up tall with a tall spine up. You can do whatever feels good with your arms. You can do cactus arms. Good job. When you're ready, you can release. You can shake it out. And then you can give it a try on the other side. So you can bring your weight and your grounding into your right leg. Bend your right knee. Cross your left leg over top of your right thigh. Maybe find a little hook with your foot or find a good spot for your foot. Bend your right knee. Lift up through your tall chest. Find your gazing point. You could bring your arms up overhead. Maybe that's easier. Find your breath. Alrighty, when you're ready. Good work. You can untangle yourself. You can shake it out. Good job. Well, we're going to take it down to the mat for some more stretching. So you can meet me in down dog when you're ready. Inhale your arms out and up. Back bend if you want. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank. And lower down, or meet us in down dog. Inhale, chest opener. Exhale, downward dog. You can step your feet in about an inch. You can pedal it out. Walk your dog. And now we'll do pigeon pose. So you can start by lifting your left leg up. You can curl your knee to your chest and plant your left knee down to the mat in between your hands. Your left foot can find a spot underneath your right hip. The further away you bring your foot in front of you, the more of a deep stretch it is. So the closer in, the more beginner friendly. You can stay right here if this is good, or you can gently lower your head and chest down over your right thigh. You can make a little pillow with your hands. And if this is too much pressure for your knee, you can do this pose while lying on your back with your legs in a figure 4. Alrighty, we're gonna hold this for about 8 rounds of breath for our deep hip opener of the night. Use your breath here. Use your exhales to find yourself lowering down to the mat with gravity. To use your breath to release yourself, to relax your body down. You extend your right leg long behind you. When you're ready, you can begin to release. You can walk your hands back up. You can walk your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Maybe find your height. Maybe push that right foot down. Maybe find balance. Maybe bend your right knee, bring that right foot up. Maybe reach for your right foot with your right hand. Find that quad stretch for your king pigeon. Maybe find balance. Push that right foot down. Good job. Alrighty. When you're ready, you can release. You can frame your knee with your hands. You can tuck your right toes behind you and return to your downward facing dog. You can bend one knee and then the other. And you can do a counter stretch by lifting your right leg up a couple times. Walk it out. Alrighty, then we'll do that on the other side. So you can let your right leg fly. Curl your knee to your chest and plant your right knee in between your hands. So you let that left leg come long behind you. If you find a good spot for yourself on this side, find a good spot for your right foot. And you can lower yourself down if you want to. And if this is too much pressure for your knee, you can also do this pose while lying on your back. So you settle in here. So you focus your attention inward. You find your breath. When you're ready, you can begin to release. You can come back up to your hands. If you want, you can practice finding your height for a moment. You can practice your quad stretch if you want to bend your left knee and reach for your left foot. Find your king pigeon. And then you can release. You can frame your knee with your hands, tuck your left toes behind you, and gently return to your downward dog. You can do your counter stretch by lifting your right leg back up again, right and left for good measure. And then you can always walk it out. As you enjoy the last moments of downward dog for tonight's practice. And then you can find your child's pose. As you drop your knees to the mat, bring your hips to your heels, and then your forehead down. You can include a tricep stretch if you want to bring your hands together, and then bend your elbows, bring your hands to the back of your neck, and then squeeze your elbows in front of you. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can begin to release back up. And from here, you'll find yourself in a high kneeling position. We'll do our camel pose. So you can start to tuck your toes underneath you, and then you can bring your hands to your lower back for support. We're going to do our chest opener back bend pose. So from here, you can begin to gently open up your chest toward the ceiling, toward the sky. Maybe look up as you keep breathing long, steady breaths. Keep your body engaged. If it's okay, you have the option to reach for your heels, but only if that's okay. And then when you're ready, you can release. Back up to your kneeling position. Good work. From here, we'll do our gate pose. So you can extend your left leg out to the side. And you can take an inhale, reach your arms up tall. Then exhale down to the left. Maybe look up. Keep breathing. And then you can come back up through center, and then you can bring your hand, your right hand, all the way down to your right side. So you reach that left leg all the way out to the side. Flex your left foot. Keep breathing. And then you can release back to your kneeling position. Good work. We'll do the other side. So you extend that right leg out. Inhale your arms up. And exhale down to the right. Maybe look up. And then you can come back through center. You can bring your left hand all the way down to the side, to the ground to your side. Maybe reach, lift that right leg up. Maybe look up. Keep breathing. Good work. Then you can come back to your kneeling position. And then you can come all the way down to your sits bones. You can bring your legs long in front. You can wobble out your knees. You can do some ankle circles in both directions. And then flex both of your feet. Bring your feet together as you bring your hands to your sides, as you sit tall with a tall, tall spine, and find a slight tuck in your chin. Staff pose. It's actually quite an active pose in staff. Alrighty, now we'll do our fold. So you inhale your arms up, reach up tall, and exhale, fold gently. You can always bend your knees. You can do whatever feels good with your hands. You can tuck your chin. You find your breath. Alrighty, and you can release. We'll do our twists. So you can bend your right knee as you plant your right foot. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Plant your right hand behind you as you look over your right shoulder. So you keep your core engaged. Keep breathing. And then you can release. Back to center. You can take a quick counter stretch to the other side. And then you can switch. As you bend your left knee, plant your left foot. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist to the left. As you plant your left hand behind you and look over your left shoulder. You keep your core engaged to protect your spine. And then when you're ready, you can release back to center. You can take a counter stretch to the other side. And then from here, you can bring both of your feet together and your knees wide. You can hold onto your ankles and sit tall to find your breath. You can take a fold if you want to. So you think about inhale, reaching up tall through your spine. And then exhale, fold gently as you walk your fingertips down, away from you. You can tuck your chin. And your feet don't have to be as close in as they can get. You can find a middle ground for your feet or a diamond shape with your legs, which can help you stretch your low back or your IT band. You can bring your hands underneath your ankles or your shins to create an anchor so that when you pull up, you travel down. Alrighty, you can release back up. And from here, you have the option to bring your hands behind you with your fingertips facing away. And you can do a quick chest opener if you want to. As you open up your chest, as you look up, you have the option to include a balance pose here. If you want to lift your glutes and your core up off the mat, do a reverse plank. Find your breath. And then you can release back down. And from here, you can plant both of your feet, bend both of your knees, and then you can roll down to your back. You can hug your knees into your chest as you flatten your spine down against the mat. You can rock side to side gently. You can move your knees back and forth like you're crawling. Or you can move your knees in little opposite circles from each other, which helps release the low back. From here, we'll do our candlestick pose, our inversion. So you can Extend both of your feet straight up, 90 degrees. You can hold on to the backs of your knees for support. You can do a few more ankle circles. You could do some point and flex with your feet. You can do wide legs. You can do plow or shoulder stand if that's in your practice. No matter where you are, think about keeping space in between your chin and your chest. One last good moment here as you let that circulation come all the way down to your core. And then you can release. You can hug your knees into your chest. From here, we'll do our figure 4 stretch. So you can bring your right ankle to your left thigh. So you make a figure 4 with your legs. So you reach your hands through to the back of your left thigh. Gently pull your left knee down toward your left side. You can bring your right hand to your right knee to help keep your knee out to the side if that's okay for you. So you breathe into your hips. And then when you're ready, you can release. We'll switch it up. So you bring your left ankle to your right thigh. You can pull your hands through to your right, back of your right thigh. So you gently pull your right knee down toward your chest. You can hold on, you can push your left knee with your left hand if you want to. You breathe into your hips. And then you can release as you hug your knees to your chest. From here, we'll do our happy baby pose. So you hold on to the bottoms of your feet from the outside edges of your feet. You can flatten your spine down against the mat as much as feels good for you. Then you can rock side to side gently. And from here, you can bring your feet together for a reclined bound angle pose. You can hold on to your heels from the bottom. You can touch your feet to your head for a yoga trick. And then you can release as you hug your knees to your chest. We'll do one last pose. We'll do our twists. So you hold on to your right knee and extend your left leg down long. Squeeze your right knee in toward your right armpit for a moment. Give that side a little extra love. This is called wind releasing position. Alrighty. And then from here, you can find a normal neutral bend for your knee. And then guide your knee across your body down to the left. And then maybe look to the right. You can straighten your right leg for a deeper twist. And if your right arm is dangling above the ground, I recommend touching your fingers to your shoulder. Do a chicken wing to protect your shoulder. And find your breath. Then you can release and hug your knees to your chest. This time, hold on to your left knee Extend your right leg down long. You can squeeze your left knee in toward your left armpit. Give that side a little extra love. And then you can release your knee. Find a normal, neutral bend for your knee here. And then guide your knee across your body, down to the right. And maybe look to the left. So you breathe into this twist. You can straighten your left leg for a deeper twist. You can always do your chicken wing on your left arm. So you lengthen your breath here. One last pose. When you're ready, you can release back into center. You can hug both of your knees to your chest. Feel free to take any other pose that you might like to take tonight. And then you can relax as you extend both of your legs down long and wide. You can reach both of your arms down long to your sides. You can find a slight tuck in your chin. So you find a natural round or rhythm of breath for yourself right now. We'll take about a 1-minute Shavasana, the most important pose of them all. As you allow yourself to absorb all the benefits from tonight's practice for yourself, all the benefits to you physically, mentally, emotionally. Take it all in. Take a nice round of breath. You can begin to wiggle your fingers or your toes. You can stretch your arms. You can roll to your side for the fetal position. And then you can begin to make your way all the way back up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit tall, but remain relaxed. You can bring your hands to heart center and take one last deep round of breath and notice how you feel right now. My soul honors your soul. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the light and the love and the peace, the happiness within you, because it is also within me. And in sharing these things, we are the same. We are united. We are one. Namaste. Oh, this was so lovely. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. I'll unmute you all. And Trevor, if you could, oh, I can stop recording.